Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm reading for Aquarius energy for Friday. You don't have to be Aquarius sun for this to resonate. It's just generally Aquarius energy. So you're going to want to look at your full chart and figure out how different energies are affecting you. And every message isn't going to be for everybody. So take what's yours and leave what isn't for somebody else because they need to hear it, right? If you like the reading, please consider dropping me a like. And if you are new here and you would like to subscribe, it's completely free to do and it really helps out the channel. Thank you to everybody who's been continuously supporting me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So when it finds you, it's your reading at that time. It doesn't have to be Friday for it to resonate, but I don't know. So what I'm getting for you, I'm going to start with a little story. So I live in Manchester in England. It's a very rainy city, and we have a lot of immigration. So we have a lot of people from a lot of different countries, a lot of different communities. England used to be part of the European Union with the free movement of people. And England's also, or the UK is also part of the Commonwealth, which has a lot of different countries connected to it. So because of England's history, we do have a lot of different ways that people can come and go into the country because of those networks, right? So yeah, there's definitely something coming through with like immigration, emigration. I don't know if perhaps some of you are considering moving to a different country, or perhaps you want family members or friends, or even like I don't know, a partner to come and live with you. So there's immigration, emigration. It may just be something that you're thinking about, especially in terms of like mass immigration, like huge like diaspora of people, like being displaced. So because you're a very political sign, I think some of you are definitely going to have that humanitarian concern for the things that are happening in the news, right? And big movement of people. So it makes a lot of sense why that would be coming out for you. I'm specifically, if I'm going to be super specific, I'm getting really drawn to kind of India region. So maybe India, Pakistan, that kind of general South Asian area. So what I kind of one of the reasons why this came in was I was walking to school with my son, and the weather's turned. Apparently it's going to snow tomorrow, which is really funny because you've got Snow by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was wondering how that fit in. You've got Snow by Red Hot Chili Peppers as one of your songs, but I don't think it's I'll get to that in a minute. So we were walking to school, and the weather's turned, and it's really quite drizzly and rainy and wet. And of course, everybody's kind of like dressing back in the winter clothes after wearing summer clothes for a couple of days, back into the coats, back into the boots. And there was this gentleman walking in his, I assume, granddaughter to school. I don't know them. They're kind of the little girl was much younger than my children, so she's a completely different year, right? I don't know the parents of those year groups. So yeah, she was really little. She was probably about 4, right? Like pigtails. She's really super cute. And yeah, then they were walking, and they were really at like a leisurely stroll. Now I walked really quickly. My son was on a scooter, so I had that moment of kind of like, oh, they're kind of blocking the pavement. Like if I go past them, I'm gonna kind of have to, like it's going to come across as kind of rude, so I'm just going to kind of like slow down a little bit. Like, but they were walking at quite a slow pace, so I was like, hurry up, let me cross the road so I can go faster. But I was kind of, because I was kind of like, it's like the universe conspires, right, to give me these messages. So because I'd kind of slowed down, I started kind of paying attention to them, and I looked at his shoes, and now they did look like they were, again, back to immigration. A lot of different people here from a lot of different places, so I don't want to assume anything, but there were a couple of like indicators there that made me guess that they were from India or Pakistan, that kind of region, which again quite common for people to come over here from those areas. And he had kind of like graying hair, and he had kind of like formal trousers on, and he had on, and this is the thing that really caught my eye, he had those kind of like almost like formal sandals. So it's almost like a pair of loafers, but the sandals, so they've got loads of gaps in. And I was like, it's raining. You're gonna get wet feet, dude. Which again was kind of an indicator that maybe he was visiting from a different country, and visiting his family who are here. Again, making assumptions, which I know we shouldn't make assumptions, but there's a message trying to come through it for you, right? I keep on getting this repeating message for you. So it's coming through with this little storyline. And so he definitely had the look of like, you know, like the older generation, um, you know, from that background. And so what I also noticed was that the little girl with the little pigtail, she had an umbrella and she had wellies on. So it's like there's something about the little girl like being very, very well cared for, right? Having everything that she needed for this weather and also fitting in, right? Being prepared for the changing seasons and the changing weather in this environment. And the older man kind of not being quite so prepared. And so yeah, like this little girl who's clearly like well looked after. And what we really, 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 some of you are like, why are you telling me this story? I don't know, right? It's not going to be for everybody. But again, there could be some little thread that you pull out of it that is going to apply to you somehow. So I'm just rolling with it. So this older gentleman, who I'm assuming was granddad, like taking his granddaughter to school. This is super cute. Like the energy coming off them, and especially like him, like the energy coming off him and the energy between them was so nice, really nice. So it was like that quiet kind of love, like companionship, right? Where they weren't talking. He wasn't, because like a lot of the time, especially me, I'm a kind of helicopter nervous parent. So it's like, watch the road, like move over, you know, like you're giving the kid directions, like as you walk into school, you know, or you're chatting, you know, what you're going to do today. So there's a lot of communication that happens, like normally I would say with most parents. But the thing about this guy and the granddaughter was there was not a word between them. And yet the little girl was right by his side the whole time, clearly quite happy. You know, her body language was cheerful, right by his side the whole time, not a word to her, crossing the road, and like it was just like companionable silence, like no bad behavior. She wasn't running ahead, you know, nothing like this. It was just like this easy, like parenting, like nice relationship. And you get mums here who are like, you know, watch the road. Like Jack, watch the road. Come here, Jack. You know, like, and then, like I do it myself, right? I'm calling myself out. But I don't know who Jack is, but if he was running near the road, I'm pretty sure I'd shout to him. But yeah, so like the kids running wild everywhere, and this little girl's just happily walking to school merrily by her granddad's side, not a word between them. And yeah, it was just really, really interesting, like a really nice dynamic. And like I say, the energy was really nice. And I was like, he feels like a good guy. He just feels like he's got like the right values. There was just something about the relationship. And again, you can kind of like tune into the energy sometimes. And again, I'm very, very, very aware when I talk about people from different cultures, and I'm assuming as well, like that's not necessarily a good thing, right? I'm calling myself out on that, but I have to tell you the stories that are coming through because it's going to apply to someone somehow. And I think as well, Aquarians, you're the ones who are definitely going to call me out on things like that. You're going to be like, you can't really say that, you know, not politically correct, because Aquarius tends to be a very politically correct sign. And again, all this like self-assessment and self-awareness and this like questioning of the self could definitely be part of your reading as well. Now, going on about questioning the self, I feel like some of you also have a lot of different backgrounds. Like I was talking to another friend yesterday about our parents and grandparents and kind of the different places that they lived in and they'd moved around, like especially during kind of like wartime. You know, my dad was raised in Nigeria, for example. He was born on the Isle of Man. Like, you know, there's like a lot of different you know, this movement of people and like where do people move to. So you might find a lot of people immigrate to a country from one area, but a lot of people emigrate to a different place. Like English people tend to emigrate to Australia, for example, or New Zealand or Canada, you know. And there's so like I don't know, something about the movement of people really coming through strongly. So I already had all this kind of in my head, and I got the song Through For You Pure by Luke Sital-Singh. So again, I'm getting those references. So his name, Sital-Singh, sounds Indian, right? I actually looked him up because I was like, I don't actually know, like, you know, what's going on there. I think his great grandparents were Indian, but they actually moved to, I want to say Jamaica. It was like a Caribbean place. And then like they've ended up you know, his family, his lineage ended up here. So he is British. He is from the UK. You know, and again, this thing about what does it mean to be British? You know, what does a British face look like? Seems to be coming through. So I also got I Need You by Jon Batiste. So I'm not sure where he's from. But the music again has that kind of, I don't know, I'm just getting a lot of different things about a lot of different cultures, right? And yeah, like people moving from different places, and like what does that mean? Oh my God, I forgot you had it in your last reading, didn't you? You had National Anthem by Lana Del Rey in your last reading, and I remember going on about, well, what happens if you don't share the values of the country that you're in? Like, do you have to sing the national anthem? So this fits in so well for you. Okay, I get it. Right. So yeah, definitely, like, what does it mean? What does nationalism mean? What does a typical person look like in you know, what happens if you don't fit the mold of the place where you live? And recognizing the fact that a lot of different people come from a lot of different places. For example, America, right? Very few Native Americans. So most of the people and the families, the background in America is going to be from Europe, it's going to be from the Caribbean, Africa, I don't know, Asia, like all over the place, but very few Native Americans. So this thing about what does it mean to be American? What does it mean to be English? What does it mean to be Indian? You know, and stereotyping as well. Definitely something with stereotyping. Again, the self-awareness of me making assumptions about that man. But it's a little bit Sherlock Holmes. It's a little bit, the fact that this guy's wearing holy sandals in British weather means that maybe he's not from Manchester, you know, or maybe he is. I don't know. I wear stupid clothes all the time. I went out the other day wearing like just a little crop top and it was freezing. I was like, the sun tricked me. How dare it? So being prepared for, I don't know what it is, but it's coming through for you, right? Again, Aquarian energy, it's very socially conscious. So it may not affect you on a personal level, but collectively Aquarian energy is worrying about these kind of issues. What else do I have? So I Need You by Jon Batiste. In this world with a lot of problems, all we need is a little loving. So rather than focusing on the problems and what's wrong, maybe we need to start focusing on the love. Where is the love? They're giving me from Black Eyed Peas. Where is the love? And there's something as well about the overcomplication, the political overcomplication of things, and getting things back to the purity. Because again, pure and simple every time. Dreams come bouncing in your head, pure and simple every time. And I Need You, he says, I love the way you're living because you're so genuine. And you've got the star card here as well, which is a card about purity and cleansing and healing, and the purity of wishes, right? The genuine purity of hope and dreams and wishes. So I'm getting something through about like, again, like with this little girl, like she was so cute, like how sweet and genuine and honest children can be. If a child's upset, it's like, this person's upset me, you know, they've done this thing to me, and then you can resolve it, right? So the very straightforward, the very simple is like, this is how I feel, let's find a solution, done, on to playing the next game, right? And also like children, just, if you put children in a room, they're going to play with the other children, right? And sometimes, like, you know, especially in places where you're getting a lot of immigration, you may have two children who don't even speak the same language, but you can put them in a room, and if they both like playing with Barbies, they're going to be playing with Barbies next to each other, and they're going to create their own little language, right? And so again, this thing about what children do where they play next to each other and they don't necessarily communicate. You don't have to necessarily communicate to have that bond. So it's been coming through since Scorpio, this thing about speaking and not speaking, or the ability to communicate. Communicating through pictures, right? How do you learn phonics? How do you teach phonics? You show them a picture of an apple and you can say ah, 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 right? So I don't know what all this is, but everybody recognizes that's an apple because of the picture, not the word. So there's something like this coming through. How do we heal? How do words heal? How do words hurt? How do we create language isn't simple. Language is complicated, and certain words, you can think of really bad words in terms of like races and you know, different backgrounds, and the way that words we at one time, you know what word I'm talking about, words could be used to control or belittle or hurt, and how words can be reclaimed and used to mean a different thing, right? And who can say those words? So there's something about this as well. But again, it's like going back to the simplicity, going back to that childhood straightforwardness. It's like kids aren't like, oh, I'm bothered, you know, I'm not happy because this child has this background. And, you know, a 4-year-old is not going to be like looking at somebody. Like, you're not going to get like a 4-year-old English girl and a 4-year-old German girl, and they're going to look at each other and go, I don't like her because in 1914, 1919, between the years of, what is it, 1914 to 1919, is it? Or like, you know, in the early half of the 20th century, I don't know dates. This is why I didn't study history. I did humanities. It's different, right? So I was about the stories, not the dates. You know, World War One happened, and my grandma, like, you're not gonna have that. Kids don't know this stuff. Kids don't care. Kids are like, oh, there's a girl, I wonder if she likes Barbies. Oh, there's a girl, I wonder if she likes My Little Ponies. Like, you know, it's like, oh, girl or boy, again, take gender out of it. It's just giving you examples. Like, they don't care. None of that matters. It's simple for them. Do you like the same stuff as me? Are you a nice person, or are you going to pull my hair? Right? It's straightforward. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter the social history. It's pure. It's simple. Do we get on or do we not get on? Can we sit there and brush our Barbie's hair in companionable silence, or are you going to pull my Barbie's head off? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, let's simplify this and heal it through the simplicity. Let's heal it through the children. You know, okay. Suddenly, why pursue? Don't know why those have come out for you, but they did. I have not pulled any cards for you. Again, going back to the basics, keeping it pure and simple. I don't know how this reading is going to go. Let's pull you some letters. Some of you are thinking, what is she on about? I'm not thinking about any of this. It's fine. I don't know why it's coming through. It's just, again, I'm not reading for a specific Aquarius person. I'm reading for Aquarius energy. So you may get a very personal reading from it if you're very aligned with whatever's going on for Aquarius energy right now. Or it might just be generally things that are coming up collectively that Aquarius is, I don't know, involved in. Oh, I did get a thing as well. It said it's better to let it burn out by itself. So if there's something like, I've got Knight of Wands and rebound as well. So don't have a rebound. Don't do rebound stuff if any of you were considering that. But this thing about let it burn out by itself. So sometimes we can see, I'm not talking about a literal fire, like, I don't know, it's an argument, it's tempers flaring, it's something happening in the news. Let it burn out by itself. We have an automatic response to go and help, right? We have an automatic response to go and put out the fires, to dampen the flames, to keep things cool. But sometimes, you know, no matter what you do, it's like sometimes if you actually go in too soon, it can exacerbate the fire, right? You can fuel the fire, but sometimes things can fizzle out by themselves. It's like it just has to run its course. So again, it could be talking about children, where it's like, you know, your children are arguing, and as a parent, you don't want, you know, you want your children to be happy all the time. So you want to go in and kind of resolve that argument. Maybe some of you work in a school. I'm getting kind of like playground stuff, you know, like a teacher in a playground. So like some of you may want to like go in and resolve the issue immediately and talk it through and kind of tell them right from wrong and, you know, use it as a teaching moment. But sometimes as well, it's like, if you go in and resolve the issues for them, then they're not learning that kind of like self-control. They're not learning to, like, what's the word? Like, conflict resolution. They're not like learning conflict resolution themselves. They're not learning how to deal with those kind of situations. So what happens when they're in high school and you're not there to kind of walk over and go, have you thought about, you know, have you thought about this? Like, they need to develop that themselves. So sometimes if it's like, obviously if it gets to the point where they're like pulling each other's pigtails, like, you're going to go over and be like, stop doing that. Kids, calm down. But if it's just an argument, sometimes you have to just let them get it out the system, let them say what needs to be said. And it can be adults as well, like co-workers, people in your family. Like, sometimes people just have to get it off the chest, right? Sometimes they have to just get it out of the system, and then it blows over and it's fine and it's resolved. So that's a message for you as well. Maybe don't jump in too soon. Just let it burn out by itself. It's better if you don't get involved. So a couple of words. So we're playing Wordle with Scrabble right now. I don't know what it's going to spell out. It could be your initials. It could be the initials of people around you. It could spell out your workplace. It could spell out a specific word that means something to you. You could get nothing at all, but maybe make a note of the letters and see if they play out somehow. You can also kind of rearrange them in your mind. The funny thing is, like, when I'm doing this, I get like full words and I get really meaningful words sometimes. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. I didn't pull words for Capricorn yesterday and I did them off camera, and I was thinking I'm going to pull the words off camera and I'm going to like tag it on at the end of the video. And what it actually spelled out, I was like, I can't actually put that up because I would get in trouble. like that, I can't put that up. So yeah, again, this thing about like what you can and can't say. Yeah, so let's see what you get. Maybe I'm going to have to cut it out. I don't know. What are you going to get? I. I was like, I got the first two letters and I was like, is it going to spell out this letter? And it did. And I was like, oh, good. AI. It's funny, Libra's reading was all about AI. And like, oh, talk about that as well. Libra's reading was... sorry, some of you are like, pull the letters. No, you're making your way. Anticipation. So Libra's reading, I didn't know when I was reading it until I kind of finished the reading, and it was all about AI and like AI becoming like you know, like the NPCs, like what if we were in a simulation? What if we were all like NPCs and we were coded to act a certain way? And then what if we gained like artificial intelligence and we became self-aware, like what, you know, and you realize you're in the Matrix. It was all this kind of stuff, and which again is very far out there, but you're in Aquarius, so you'll probably appreciate discussions like that. You'll probably be into it. Some of you are like, no. No, especially because Aquarius is associated with technology and advancements in technology. Oh my god, I've got something else for you. I'll tag it on at the end of the reading unless it comes up. Yeah, I went down and I was telling my family about it, and my daughter went, that sounds like Free Guy. That sounds like the movie Free Guy, which they'd watched and I hadn't. And I googled it and looked at the Wikipedia kind of blurb, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I channeled. I just channeled that movie again, didn't I? An hour-long reading, and I basically just channeled a fucking movie. Great. So when I went back upstairs, I was uploading it and I put him on the thumbnail, but I hadn't watched it at that point. And then I watched the movie and I was like, yeah, that's what I channeled for Libra. Great. So I don't know what I'm going to get for you. But the letters, again, it's so significant. The first two letters that came out for Libra were AI. And again, I don't think, did I realise at the time? I'm not sure. M or W, I guess. I don't know. Keep calm, keep yarn, and carry on. Okay, whatever you get from it. If you don't get anything, that's absolutely fine. And yeah, let's move those over there. Again, like you can kind of move them around, so just to kind of show you, like tail, maybe tail. Tail, can she spell? Tail, I don't know. Mail, maybe somebody's going to get some mail. Late, if you want to spell it a funny way. Lamets, I don't know what lammet is. Right, okay, so what do I want to get for you? What am I feeling? Maybe I'm not even going to pull cards for you. Maybe I'm just going to talk for an hour. Let's go with what I've been going with. So let's go with the Kipper deck and the Lenormand deck and see what we get from these. They do feel like, again, this thing about like, everybody's gone a bit quiet this week. Like the energy's gone a bit secretive. Not even secretive. It's like companionable silence. It's like we don't need to talk right now. We can talk psychically now. We can talk through our brain chips. I guess I'll talk about the other thing that I was getting for you, because again, I've got this like pause. Maybe I'm just meant to talk about psychic messages or something. Like, I don't know. I was getting this thing about it came through in, I want to say, Scorpio's reading, and I was talking about my own family history and how this guy started his own business, and his wife as well, and they knew what they were doing. They knew the stuff, right? They'd been like, the wife was the person who actually made the product, and the husband was kind of like running the show. He was like the supervisor, the floor manager. So they knew what they were doing. They knew how the business operated. They had all the skills. So they went off and they made their own business, and instead of like churning out product, that was like cheap and quick, they invested it was a bit of a risk, but they invested the little money they had in making a small number of like perfect, like fine, really good quality products. And so they actually did develop a name for themselves as like the go-to place for this, like the best quality. Like they were kind of like high society, you know, all this kind of stuff. So they actually created quite a successful business. We're not talking like Prada or anything like that here, but definitely kind of, you know, high end for the time. So there's something about that that's coming through for you in terms of technology. So if you look at the world of technology, who's making money in that, there's some like really big names in there who are kind of making all the money. You know, you can look at like Jeff Bezos, for example, and you know, if you've ever done that thing where you scroll like the representation of wealth and you just see, and it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls for Jeff Bezos. You know, like, and you can scroll to a point where it says he could pay for all the cancer treatment for a year. Like everybody's cancer treatment could be paid for by Jeff Bezos, and it would just be a blip in the amount of money he has. Like, you know, the good that you could do with that kind of money, it's just ridiculous. It's like absurd. It's like it's not even comprehensible when it gets to that point. So there could be definitely something about like thinking about the distribution of wealth and what could be done with the money that perhaps a few individuals get. So if you look at, I actually channeled the word CEO, by the way. So if you look at like how much CEOs get, and you work out how much would, like, for the average salary, right, for a minimum wage salary, or an average like decent pay, how many bodies could that one person's salary, how many people could that translate to for like a full-time job for what, 40 people, you know, 180 people for a year? Like that's their families fed, that's a roof over their head for a whole, like, hundreds of people, right? And that's one person's salary. And what do the CEOs do anyway? You know, what the people who make the product, the people who are actually like hands-on, you know, they know how the business runs on kind of like a floor level. So what's to stop all these people, like, you know, getting together and going off and creating their own businesses because they know the product, you know, they know how to put it together and all this kind of stuff. So you think, what stops them? And like, you see it, you do see people who break away and create their own products and their own games and things like this. And get a small amount of success, but you only need, as one person, you only need a small amount of success and you're made for life, right? So I don't know, there's something, especially with Aquarius, especially with it being like moving it into Aquarius energy and it being a sign of technology and it being a socially aware sign and a politically aware sign. There's all these things coming up where it's like, I don't know, consumerism, mass-produced cheap stuff, and quality products, and you know, what's on offer and what's not on offer. You know, where are the gaps in the market? So, and you see as well, you see big developers like buying up all the small independent, you know, all the little small independent kind of games that, you know, they're doing quite well on their own, but they need that investment. And you see the big companies coming in and kind of swooping them up and, you know, profiteering from that. And then you see games like Stardew Valley, right, where the guy, Chucklefish, like, you know, did it all himself and it's amazing, like such a good game. So, you know, and like as well, like, you know, anyone can go on Instagram, anyone can start a Twitter account, anyone can do the promotion side themselves. So I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a big change. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I was channeling that a good few days ago, and I was like, this feels like Aquarius. Has Aquarius written all over it. Let's look. Oh, and I was getting something else as well about like government bodies, so like schools and things, and how it's like you know, you could have all the right qualifications, but if you don't know the right person, if you don't shake the hands with the right person, are you going to get into that place? So this kind of was occurring to me, and kind of it was an observation I made in daily life where it's like you know, somebody was working at a certain government place, and hadn't their mum worked in that same place in a very similar job? So it's like, you know, the networking, the little mum group kind of thing. So it can come through as like the old boys club, but it can definitely come through as like all the mums, like the mums, the inner circle of mums, right, who all like work at a certain institution, and then the kids work there, and then, you know, it's very much kept in the family, if you like, even though it's like a government institution. And so how do you get in that as an outsider? But the thing as well is, like, it can create a very closed mindset. It can create an environment that's very much, this is the way it's always been done, so this is the way we're going to continue to do it. If it's broke, like, don't fix it kind of thing. And there's no innovation there. So this is why that Aquarian energy of like turning things upside down, looking at it from a different angle, looking at it from outside of the box, actually makes those windows so that innovation can happen. So if you have an environment and it's all the same people from the same background, you know, with the same set of ideas, there's no innovation there. You have to open the door for the newness, for the freshness, to have those innovation, like out of the box thinking, and kind of to move things forward. Because it's like some of the schools here, some of the stuff they do is like the same stuff they were doing when I was at school. And I'm like, have you not modified that yet? Because it didn't work when I was there. So why are you still doing it? In fact, the only things that they've modified seem to be more tyrannical. It's like they really crack down on homework now, really crack down on uniform. And I'm like, why do they're not the most important things that you should be. It's like almost like putting a plaster on the wound. It's like, you know, especially in terms of like detentions, like handing out detentions left and right. It's like, well, why? What's going on that you're having to hand out so many detentions in the first place? You know, it's just like relying on the punishment rather than actually solving the issue in the first place. I don't know. Coffin. Okay, coffin in reverse. Okay, and community. Coffin in reverse and community. Number 19 could be important to you. Coffin in the reverse and community. A letter there. Could be like a letter to the community. You know, like when people write open letters, a letter to my followers, a letter to the world. These are my thoughts, these are my feelings. Could be something like that somebody's going to do. Serendipity and the ring. So the ring is like some sort of commitment normally. I mean, it could be a literal ring. It could represent, I don't know, some sort of inheritance, like, I don't know. But the ring, it tends to be like Ace of Pentacles energy. It's actually coming through as Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, so something that you're passionate about, some kind of opportunity, something that where there's a commitment involved. Something that's like for the long term. It's like the Ace of Pentacles, right? The Ace of Pentacles is a seed that can be planted and can grow into an oak tree. This is kind of serendipity, luck, chance, good fortune. It's also a little bit like, if you think about like, oh, I've got my lucky 4-leaf clover. It's a little bit superstitious. So there could be something like that for you. This looks like thistles to me as well. Like clover I associate with Ireland, but thistles I associate with Scotland. So there could be something about Ireland, Scotland. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it definitely feels like somebody's in a position to receive and somebody's in a position to give. It's like serendipitous, like money falling into somebody's lap, or like an angel investor, these kind of things. They're giving me Wolf of Wall Street. Just be careful, because if you are doing something a little bit independent and you do need a little bit of money, say you need £1,000, right, to get your business going, and a big company swans in and they're like, yeah, we can give you, we're going to give you £10,000, and it's like, oh, this is too good to be true. What are you actually giving up? What are you giving to that company? Are you giving them the rights? Are you signing over the rights? What happens if that thing that you're working on becomes super successful, right, and it makes millions, and you look back and you think, but the other company gets it because they gave you the investment, right? You only get a little bit of that. You get 5%, right? 5% of millions is still good, but you think, oh my goodness, if I'd have just scrounged together that £1,000, I would have had the full rights to my thing and I would be making those millions. So just if you need a small amount of money, try and save for it. Try and get it from, you know, friends and family that, you know, they're gonna not be mad, you know, they're not gonna be, you know, they've got that money to spare. They're not gonna be too mad if you can't pay it back immediately. You know, if you lose it, they're not gonna be too mad. You know, if you've got that option, you know, don't get money off like loan sharks. Just be careful. I've got this thing about like somebody who's gonna give you money, it's gonna feel like a dream come true for some of you, but it's like it's got strings attached, it's got like the devil attached to it. So just be really, really wary of that, right? It's better to save for stuff. It's always better to save up for it than to get a loan, especially if you're getting a loan from kind of a sharky place. The coffin in reverse, so you've got 2 and 25 as well, could be significant numbers. The coffin obviously can talk about death. I'm not going to skirt around the issue, you know, somebody passing. It could be that, you know, somebody hasn't died. I don't know. Coffin in reverse. The coffin is also like, you know, it's short, it's done, it's over, ending, not going back to this. There's no coming back from this kind of thing. But in the reverse, it's like something that's not ended, right? Something that's been maybe a little bit long and drawn out. It's not like an open and shut case. I'm getting cold case. Like some kind of complication or something where something hasn't completely closed. Okay, Ruby, I'm getting the name Ruby. What else are we going to go for then? What do we want for you? I am feeling mermaid tarot for you, which is strange. I wouldn't normally go mermaids for you. It tends to be, I use it for water signs quite a lot. Can't actually get it out. It's right at the back. Oh no, everything's falling. Oh, what's that? It's my mum, one of my mum's books. It's my mum's diary. See, oh my god, look. Like talking about, I can't even read what this is. It's like the lining of the book, but again, it's got like that looks like Japanese maybe or Chinese script on it. There's me and my mum when I was little. Right, okay. She got inappropriate shoes on, and she's got trainers on. So just put that back together there. Obviously now that's, I don't know. Right, okay, 9 card spread, please. 9 card spread for Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius? So we're going feelings, thoughts, action space, past, present, future. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I was picking that up. 9 of Wands energy. That's whatever this is. Something that's not, it's ongoing, it's not ended. Committed to something. Page of Swords, learning more, gaining information. 3 of Cups in reverse, that's that community, but in the reverse it's not necessarily good. Hidden, something hidden, hidden passion. Oh yeah, you fired up about something. That's that Ace of Wands we saw down at the bottom here. Just show you where I got that from there. Ace of Wands. Oh, you're being super secretive. There's the ending. That's like stabbed in the back though. And, oh, yeah, definite ending. 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. I'm sorry about whatever's drilling out there. 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands. You are being so secretive. You are playing your cards close to your chest. Or somebody is. 7 of Swords. Oh, my God, yeah, the card about being sneaky is the 7 of Swords. Yeah. Ace of Swords. Well, that's the truth coming out. That's the clarity. King of Swords. Look at all those swords, and then you are, that's your energy. King of Swords, that's you bringing it at the end. Could be a Cancerian involved or a water sign, or it could be indicating somebody who has a lot of love for you. It's kind of like mothering energy, or like, you know, somebody who's very sympathetic, very open with the feelings. There's somebody like this around you. Okay, or it could be you, right, as well. Right, that Ace of Wands right in the middle, and you've been quiet about it. Oh my God, please stop. Why now? You, in your thoughts, you have some kind of creative idea. You have some kind of idea. It's very, very new, very innovative, very excited about it. If you don't have it now, you'll have it soon. It's like, oh my goodness, I've got this brilliant idea. I don't think anyone else has cottoned onto this yet. This feels really good. I'm really actually very excited about this. It's that kind of energy. Okay. No major arcana at all. So it feels very steady. When major arcana shows up, it's quite a big, strong energy. This feels quite, it feels ongoing, but it feels quite calm, right? It's like there's nothing major happening. Or if there is something major happening, it's you're handling it really well. It's like smooth sailing, right? It's like, okay, these things are happening, but I'm a waitress wearing a white dress. I've got this, which is my little mantra this week. It's funny because we got mad busy on Sunday in work, and I was really tired, and I was kind of like, I told my co-workers this. I was like, I'm a waitress, I've got this, look how I got this, look how I do this. It's a Lana Del Rey song, and everything was going, I was so stressed out at one point, and I was tired, I was stressed out, it was manic, everything was going wrong, and I was going, I've got a waitress, I'm a waitress, I've got this. Like I was trying to like reinforce it to myself, but it was going horribly wrong. Right, okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing? Because you've got an idea. You've got something going on in that brain box of yours. And you are being very sneaky about it. Very much like writing down your ideas, making a plan. Like this is emotionally kind of figuring something out, planning something. Like, okay, I feel these things. What do I need to do about it? I feel this. What does that mean, right? It's actually the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, I was reading it as the Page of Pentacles. No, this is you're actually taking steps. So emotionally moving forward, emotionally making steps to move something forward with a very solid plan, like feeling very secure, feeling very solid, feeling like you're making forward movement, but it's slow and it's stable and it's steady. Again, this kind of like, that's the energy of you reading. It's like no alarms, no surprises, right? The Three of Cups in the reverse, that is this community card. So I don't know what that represents to you. Concerns underneath that. So concerned about a community. And this is in your thoughts. It's kind of in your past position, occupying your thoughts. So it could be, what I'm feeling is, especially with like the Seven of Swords here, it feels like not wanting people to know, like doing something, but doing it kind of on your own, like worried about gossip perhaps, or, you know, if I tell people, are they going to tell someone else? And if I tell them, are they going to tell someone else? I don't want this person to hear about that, so it's better if I just keep it to myself. It kind of feels like that. Let's go Light Seers. So Light Seers Tarot, and see what that Three of Cups is. Oh, I can't open the box. It was like suction. I keep seeing this Four of Wands as well. I don't know if somebody's planning some kind of event. Three of Cups, because this can be like a get-together. Why is the Three of Cups there? Yeah, no, there's competition. So it could be, again, it could be something like, I know that there's going to be like a really lucrative position coming up at work, a really lucrative project, and I'm going to start planning for it. I'm going to start preparing for it. I'm going to start emotionally preparing for it, and doing things like, yeah, it just feels like getting prepared, like moving towards whatever this is. But it's like, you don't want to go and tell everybody in the workplace, like, oh, this project's coming up, I'm really excited about it, I'm going to go for it. Because it's like, they'll all go, oh, what project? Tell me more. Maybe I want to go for it too, right? So it's like keeping it to yourself, because there's competition, right? The less competition there is, the better your chance of winning. It's that kind of thing. Or it's like, you know, I've figured out this great investment. I'm going to go and invest in this thing. But if everybody's investing in it, then, you know, I'm not going to make as much profit. So definitely quite smart to be a little bit sneaky, which is this card here, and kind of keep it to yourself, right? So you're doing something, and you're doing something. You don't want anyone to know. There's competition involved. You're planning, you're prepping, you know, doing what needs to be done, and you're not letting on to anyone else. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because this card is like, normally it's stealing cards from a battlefield so they can't be used in battle the next day. And that was fighting, right? They could be fighting in your friendship group, or you think, oh, you know, when people find out about this, they're going to kick off. You know how I was saying, like, sometimes it's better not to intervene. It's better to just kind of do your own thing. Feels like that. So now you've got 2 aces here. 2 aces. This is definitely something new for you. New beginning, new idea, new project, new information. It has this feeling, just with the imagery of these cards, it does have this feeling of like finding something, right? Finding something, or getting hold of a bit of information. And it's like that information could be used as a weapon, right? That information could hurt people. That information is sensitive, something like this. So it's like, it has this idea of, how do I handle it? With this card here, it's like, how do I handle this? I've got to handle this delicately. I've got to handle this delicately. So emotionally, whatever this is for you, it is causing you to get into this 9 of Wands energy, which is the wounded warrior. It's somebody who feels really like burdened, tired, burdened. It's been a long road, right? It's been hard work, but the wounded warrior, they know how to pick themselves up. They know how to dust themselves off. They know how to keep going. So emotionally prepared for this long battle, emotionally sticking with something, sticking to your guns. I kind of had that a little bit for Sagittarius as well. It's like, you know, when they finally get that goal in sight, when they get that bullseye, you know, they're going directly for it. Like, it's like showing me like a steam train or like a bullet train, like taking the direct route, like eyes on the prize energy. And I feel like you've got a little bit of that there as well. So what is the 9 of Wands, please, emotionally for Aquarius? It's not going to be for everybody, by the way. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And it could be somebody around you. No, you are holding on to something. Again, Sagittarius had this energy of like a dog with a bone. Like, I know what I want. I've got my eyes on the prize. I've got my teeth into it. Like, there's no way I'm letting go of this now. Now that I've got a grip of it, right? Now that it's finally in my grasp, I'm sinking my teeth into it and I'm not letting go. And it's that same energy, like emotionally, like, there's no way I'm letting go of this. Like, I am in this for the long road, which again, you've got this kind of like commitment card here. Like, committed to something, committed to some kind of idea. What's the Ace of Wands in Aquarius's thoughts? Oh, is that the Page of Wands? It's the Page of Wands. Yeah, like, this feels brilliant. This is something new. It's something fresh, brand new, fresh idea, very innovative, which works for you because you're Aquarius, right? That out of the box thinking. I can't believe nobody's ever thought of this before. I can't believe nobody's ever, it's almost has this feeling of like, say this was like a quest, like a computer game quest, because I'm getting a lot of computer game stuff at the moment. Like, you know, you go into that cave that no one else has been through. Everybody else has overlooked the cave, but you go in it and you find this thing, and this is like, whoa, this is going to unlock like a whole new gameplay dynamic here. Like, this could be really good, but I don't want anyone else to get it. I don't want anyone else to know. Like, it's so new that I need to like sit with it and like figure it out and really understand what it can and can't do. What is the potential here? What are the constraints? What are going to be the problems in this? But I'm really, really excited. I'm so excited to use it. I can't wait. Can't wait to show everybody. I can't wait to get this thing off the ground. I can't wait to get this thing up and running. But the pages are kind of like studying, figuring things out. And you've got 2 pages here. Could also indicate children, specifically a fire sign child or a water, sorry, it's because it's a mermaid. Maybe a water sign child or an air sign child. But it just feels like you, right? You feeling like a child again, you feeling enthusiastic, like something pushing the right buttons inside of you. And it's mentally, right? It's mentally stimulating. It's mentally exciting. Really, really wanting to kind of like run with this idea. And then in your action space, you've got the sword of truth. So it's a sort of clarity, it's a sort of truth. It will cut bonds, you know. It will get you out of sticky situations. It's like clarity of thought. And when you have clarity of thought, it is quite liberating, which I think somebody else had that. I think it could have been Scorpio. So what's the Ace of Swords? Three of Cups. It could actually be in this position here. So again, you could be anywhere along this timeline. I'm reading this as your current position, but just know that you could be a little bit here, a little bit there. At this point in the action space for Aquarius energy generally, this feels like telling the truth to people. Finally, like here you're keeping something a secret from like a friendship group, the co-workers, family around you, the people around you, very much doing it on your own and figuring it out and keeping it a secret. This feels more like it's time to announce it. It's time to reveal it. It's time to, there you go. Look, letter in community, letter in community. It's time to speak the truth on this. It's time to let people know. And it's in your action space. So it's not something you're thinking about. It's not something you feel. It's something that you're doing. This is the situation. This is what's happening. And it feels like people are behind you or people are on board. Like this is a supportive network, right? This is, these are your co-workers going, oh my God, you're going to go and, do this project on your own. Yes, we're on board. Yes, we're supporting you. Yes, we've got your back. Like we see the potential in this too. It's that kind of like, come on then, let's go and do this thing by ourselves. It feels a little bit like that. Obviously, I'm not saying, again, it's a collective reading. It's not a personal reading. I don't know what else is going on in your chart right now. Don't just walk out your job and expect all your friends to follow you, on a whim. This is clearly something, again, there's no tower moment here. There's nothing dramatic happening, no major arcana. This is something that somebody has been probably planning for a long time with these two cards, right? This person has been figuring this out. This isn't like a spur of the moment whim. This is like, I've been planning. I've been putting a lot of thought into this. Like emotionally, this is something I'm very committed to. I've planned this and now it's time, right? This is not like spur of the moment. I've had a bad day, so I'm walking out of work. It's not that at all. This is like, I've got this, I'm ready to get this thing off the ground now, and I've done a hell of a lot of planning and preparing for it, emotionally planning and preparing for it. So up there in your emotions, in the near future, far future, maybe some of you are already there. This leads to the Page of Swords. So emotionally, again, it's like you've got this thing, you've got this truth. It could be somebody revealing a truth to you as well. You might not be the one saying, like, to your friendship group, here's the situation. Somebody in your friendship group might be saying, I've got to tell you the truth of this. There is some kind of light bulb moment, some kind of truth. But it's like here, it's like taking that truth, taking that fact, taking that idea, and handling it very carefully and waiting for more information. It is an energy of like, let's just watch and wait, right? Let's just see how this goes. Again, that thing I was getting about, like, let the fire fizzle out by itself. Again, it could be whatever's said has a bit of an impact with the group, the people around you. And this is kind of like going, let's just see how the chips fall. Let's just like wait and see how this situation turns out. You're thinking quite clearly because you've got the King of Swords in your action space, which is, he's a truth speaker. He thinks very clearly. He's made up his mind. Very, very clear cut. In your thoughts, this is quite important because you've got the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. These are the two difficult tens. You have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, which is like happy families, like I feel really secure, everything's great. This is like, oh, this situation's ending and it hurts, right? I've got to put this responsibility down now, like the straw that broke the camel's back. Be careful of your back, right? Physically, if you've got back problems and you haven't had a doctor look at it, go and get a doctor to look at it. Go and see a physiotherapist, go and get some exercises to help to strengthen your back. If you sat in an office chair all day, you want to be doing like a bit of yoga. Again, I cannot give you medical advice. I am not a doctor looking at your spine, because this is a doctor as well. This is a surgeon, this is a doctor. So for example, my dad once had a slip disc and it was very difficult for him. He's self-employed, so he couldn't work. You want to make sure just this is back, this is back, this is doctor. Some of you just watch your back, right? Watch out for back problems. If you get a weird twinge, go and get it checked out. Just be gentle, be kind to your back. Don't do anything. Don't like I was saying, do yoga, but don't randomly suddenly take up yoga if you've never done it before in your life, right? Whatever you're doing, ease into it slowly, but look at like, you know, just be careful of your back and your shoulders and things. A lot of swords, a lot of mental stuff going on here for you, a lot of clarity, a lot of figuring things out. But tens are endings. Tens are like, I recognize that this situation is ending. I recognize that this situation is done. Ten of Swords is a little bit like stabbed in the back. So you could feel like you're stabbing someone in the back by ending something. You know, I'm sorry to do this to you, but listen, I've got this new thing, this new project I want to work on, this new idea, this new business. I'm going to go and run off in that direction. And even though, like, I know it's going to feel like I'm betraying you, it's what I have to do. It could be that. It could be that, you know, something's ending in your workplace and it feels like a betrayal, right? But I want to say that there's something like, see this kind of like this energy. It's like something where it's like, give me a song. It's not Candle in the Wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. I don't know what that is, but I've heard it before. It's not like that's a brand new song. I've never heard it before. I have heard it before, but I don't know who sings it and I don't know what it is. Ten of Wands. Yeah, this is like the straw that broke the camel's back. The Nine of Wands is persevering with something, you know, falling off the bike and getting straight back on the bike, dusting yourself off, you know, knowing how to pick yourself up, knowing how to persevere, knowing how to get to the finish line. And then this is kind of like the finish line. This is like, I'm almost home. I'm almost there. This situation's nearly coming to a close. I'm going to be able to put down my burdens. I'm going to be able to put down my baggage. I need to, right? I need to rest. And maybe that's the truth. The truth is, I need to rest. I need to take a break. Maybe your health isn't that great. You know, you need to replenish. It could be something like that. It could be a lot of things. But that is, like, I would say 10 and 10 in your thoughts. That is a definite ending. And it's not a comfortable one. The 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, please. More on the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. King of Pentacles. For some of you, I do feel like either this is a conversation you're having with your boss, your father, or your husband. For others of you, I do feel like some of you are definitely taking on a kind of a leadership position at work, as like a skilled. This is somebody who really knows what they're doing, right? They've got the hands-on experience, they've got the qualifications, they've got the knowledge, they've got the practical skills to be able to take on this project and handle it really easily. Like, he looks proper chill, right? This is like the CEO, right? The CEO who's a bit of a hipster. He swans in with all his bright ideas, but it's not just that though. This person knows the business. This isn't like a boss who, again, Scorpio had this in their reading where it's like they were dealing with somebody who, like, it's like a boss who's not skilled, a boss who doesn't know the business, right? Who's childish, who makes these demands and then swans off. A bit like in, if you, again, going back to Libra's film that I watched with Ryan Reynolds in it. I get people mixed up. Not Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds, I think. Now I'm second guessing myself. One of the Ryans. He like the boss in that, and it was what's his name? He's the guy who did like The Mandalorian and What We Do in the Shadows. Brilliant like director and really popular at the moment. You know who it is, but the boss he plays in that, he really is like, he doesn't have the skills. He's stolen somebody's idea. Like, he's a jerk, right? If you want to go and watch that movie, Free Guy. So it's not like that at all. This is like, you know, the main guy in it who's like actually wrote the code. This is the guy who actually knows how the system works, right? He's like, he knows the business because he's been there, he's done it, he's been hands-on. So this is somebody like this. The King of Pentacles is great. Taurus energy doesn't have to be Taurus. Yeah, so it's like you're going, right, I'm gonna, you know, I know what to do here. I'm tired of working for somebody else who doesn't appreciate me. I'm gonna go off and be my own boss. I'm gonna go off and take this other job. I'm gonna, you know, I'm at this other job where I'm gonna be really comfortable. My life's gonna be easier. You know, look how chill he is. I'm taking control of the situation. So it's either that you're going off, setting off your own thing, or taking a different offer, and you know, you're gonna have to say to somebody, look, I'm not working for you anymore. Or it's like you're, you know, a conversation. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. King of Swords. I mean, there's no change in your mind. You've made up your mind with the King of Swords in your action space. Yeah, no, you recognize, like, you see something clearly, and it's about this Ten of Wands energy. Again, it's like, maybe you are moving, right? Packing your bags, moving on. Tens, again, signify the end of something, the completion of something. It feels like a journey home. Feels like I've got to do this. I've got to do this journey. I'm tired of lugging all this baggage around. I need to settle down somewhere. There you are with the Hangman. Re-looking at whatever this Seven of Swords was in your past, like having a different view of it, having a different perspective of it. The High Priestess, deep inner knowing, and the Fool there as well, taking a leap of faith. All right, I am about to run out of battery. What's this? Six of Cups. So this is like memories of the past, memories of better times, thinking about your children. It's also the card about Nostos or homecoming. Yeah, it feels like moving on to happier memories, if that makes sense. Like moving forward, taking the happy memories with you and leaving the bad stuff behind. How much time do I have? Have I got time to... Oh, what am I doing? Have I got time to... I've got 4% battery. Yes, I can do this. So what advice do we want for you? Do we want wisdom of the oracle? I think that... Yeah, I'm feeling wisdom of the oracle for you. And I feel like this is... I feel like this is a very work-related reading. So let's get you like the money advice. Happy, happy. Punch drunk, happy, happy. Getting a song through. Dumbstruck, punch drunk, happy, happy. I think it's Wolf Alice and Between Worlds. Yeah, you're absolutely, something's ending for you and you're moving into something else, but it's not quite over, right? You're still kind of in the last phases of whatever is closing out for you. But you're going somewhere brighter. You're going somewhere happier. Absolutely, 100%. A change in the wind there as well. Love struck, happy, happy. I like that song. I need to listen to it. I'm happy now. Yeah, definitely Wolf Alice. I'm happy now. Some of you could be Aqua Cappy Cusps, because I say to Cappies, Cappy, 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 I want you to be happy, 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 Cappy, Cappies. So that could be something for somebody. Joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. And again, you do. There's no major... If there's an ending coming, it's not a tower moment. It's not a surprise. It's maybe something you've been expecting. There's no major arcana, so it's not. It's just like plain sailing. This is a time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work, providing exceptional service, and are well compensated for it. That's really making me think about King of Pentacles. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you have done? Remember your partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. So do more of what makes you happy, right? Do more of what brings you joy. Now, some of you are like, I'm not in that state. I'm not feeling that. That is not my vibe. You know, I'm struggling. Some of you are still in this struggling energy. So what I want you to do is, if you're not familiar with manifestation techniques, go and have a quick Google of that. Positive manifestation and reinforcement is really important. And the best way to do it is through gratitude. So if you speak like you already have the situation you want, if you speak like you've already achieved it, but in the present, right? Not I'm going to have blah, blah, blah. But even if you don't have it right, it's almost like just tricking yourself, tricking the universe into bringing you what you want to achieve. So you say, I am comfortable. I am valued for my skills. I have a rewarding job. If you speak in the present, the universe reinforces it. So, and also it helps you with the attitude of gratitude and what you think about, you bring about. It really helps you to appreciate what you have and to actively attract more of it to you, you know, because of your own behaviors and your own perception of the self. So I'm going to actually bring this up to you so you can just kind of screenshot it and just really, like every morning in the mirror, just talk to yourself like you already have it, right? Like you already have all this, and hopefully again, like serendipity, the universe is going to bring more of that towards you. I hope this reading was really helpful for you, Aquarius. I found it very, very positive. Do take really good care of yourselves, and especially like if you're emigrating or something, or you've got friends and family immigrating to you, like best of luck with that. Like travel light, I think. You know, you don't have to drag everything with you. You know, you can you can carry Mary Kondo it and start fresh. Yeah, you're going to be all right. You're going to be happy. You are happy, right? Manifest